Good, oh, it's lunchtime. Good lunchtime to you all, folks. Coming to you from 76-degree Gettysburg, PA. It's a gorgeous day. So let's go for a ride. We started out at the West End Guide Station. We're heading east on Route 30. And we're going to turn right on... Good morning, Mike. It is a beautiful day. We're going to turn right here on Seminary Ridge, which has, I would say, next to the tied with the Gettysburg Museum of History, the finest museum in town. My favorite floor is the medical floor. There's different floors dedicated to different subjects, and you can take a tour of the cupola. You can go up to the cupola. Someone will take you up there, point out different things, and it is really worth checking out when you come here. And it's right there on the left. Here, there it is, the seminary. The famous seminary building, that's where the museum is. Jean says the cupola tour is worth every penny. She is correct. How you doing, Barbara? Ty, how are you? Phil, good morning. It's no longer morning. It's noon. Now my thermometer is saying it's 80 degrees. It's not humid at all, so maybe that's why it doesn't feel like it's 80 degrees, but it doesn't feel like it's 80 degrees. That seems a little off. Because if it were 80 degrees, I would not be in jeans and a long sleeve shirt and a vest. But it's not cold, so at least we have that. There's the beautiful Macmillan House on the left. How awesome would it be to live there, right? Now we're on West Confederate Avenue. Hey, John and Eric. Yes, Mike says, great museum. Pete Mealy and the crew do a great job. They certainly do. We're going to do a lot more things there with them. We're going to do trivia night again in August. But we're going to do other things, probably late in the year or over the winter there. They not only do they do a good job there, but they appreciate bringing business to them and and having people come and see the place. They're very proud of it, and they should be, because they've done a great job with it. And there's just a lot to see and learn. And like Pete says, thank you, Ty, for the super like there. You're welcome for the drives. And wait, is that a super like or a super? Oh, it's the first super on a live stream. Okay, thank you for it regardless. What was I saying now? Oh, anyway, they do a fantastic job over there, and they're very gracious guys, and they love sharing history with people that you come to them with an idea and they're like, let's do it, because it's not only good exposure for their museum, but it's about sharing the history of the museum, and not just the Museum of Battle, and it's just a great place to go. So we're gonna do a lot more stuff there to get more attention for them. FYI, Matt, you have to call Mike Lentz just 6 questions from now on. That is his Getty's Gang tag. All right. Do you want me to make Getty's Gang t-shirts? How big is this gang? Or is it a secret gang? What's your tag, Eric? Rich Snyder says, gorgeous day, spring is coming. Feels like it's here, Richie. Feels like it's here. But yeah, I mean, technically it's not, but it feels like it is ready to come. And I hope it's a nice one. You know, it's been weird the last few years. March has been, many days in the 70s, even hitting. We either have a hailstorm or a rainstorm, thunderstorm on the April Get Out of the Car tour. This year, I forbid that. I've had a conversation with the weatherman, and I said, let's have a break this year. And he assured me that it will be a nice sunny day, just like today. When you're a get all the way. That's funny. Now I envision the Gettysburg version of West Side Story with snapping and dance numbers. Yeah, except nobody in our crew is coordinated enough to dance. Hello, Ghost. Good afternoon, Ron. You are just sitting down to make my reservations for the June Get Out of the Car tour. Very nice. Where are you going to stay? Don't forget, that's Matmas. I will be bringing a pickup truck for all the Matmas gifts that y'all will bring. So don't think, oh, that smoker I got for Matt is too big. He won't be able to fit it in his car. We'll have Colby's pickup and Eric's pickup. So don't worry. Don't think there's no gift too large for Matmas. Of course, the joke of that is last year I said the same thing, and oh, thank you, Eric. I said the same thing last year, and nobody brought a gift. And I had the pickup truck there with balloons on it and party streamers, and it was all for naught, So now it's the joke every year. I'm going to say it and get nothing, and go home and cry. And, you know, that's the way it goes. Oh, sorry. I said Eric. Thanks, Eric. That was Phil. Excuse me. I saw it. It disappeared. I don't know if it does this for you, but the comments disappear after a second, and I have a glare on my screen. So I caught it as it was disappearing. I thought it said Eric. That was Phil for the $10 super. So thank you very much for that. Ron says, Quality Inn is my go-to spot for years now. Yes, that's where we used to go when we would come down as visitors. Quality Inn. I like the Quality Inn because there's 3 beds. You know, it's funny. Growing up, you know, you go on a trip with your family, you go to a hotel, you know, you get usually 2 beds in a hotel and you double up with someone, right? But then you get older and you get to a certain point where it's like, if I'm not sleeping with you on a regular basis, like you're my wife or my girlfriend or something, I don't want to share a hotel with you, even if we're in different beds. However, when you go to the Quality Inn, there's 3 beds. You make the center one the luggage bed, and then you're far apart, you know, far enough apart. Why I come down here, I always lose signal. So, Quality Inn is like, okay, read that. I'm coming in May for Doors. I'm glad they're bringing it. I hope they asked me to cover it on video. It's such a cool thing. I mean, I remember last time they did it. Well, I shouldn't say, I don't know if it's the last time they did it, but it was the last time I participated. I went into the McPherson barn. Now, it's empty. There's nothing in there. Just an empty barn. But it was so cool. There was just something that gave me a chill to go in there, you know. It was just, yeah, you got to do it. I encourage anybody who can get here when they do doors open. When is the date for that, Gene? Well, I'm going to pull over here so I can read what everybody's saying. Because it's in, you say it's in May. What's the date? Because it's really, really worth doing if you can get down here. Trimbod says, hey, can I ask about Lost Avenue? You can ask about anything. Can you still get there? I just drove to the end of Clap Saddle, and it seems very foreboding with no park. Yeah. So here's the dilly with that. You can get there. There is a trailhead somewhere down in that area. Now, I've never taken it because I was warned by a ranger, you know, well, you can go there, but be careful you don't stray off the trail because you might get shot. And I think he was joking, but I didn't want to take the chance. So instead, he gave me the number to Dean Schultz. And I called Dean, and he got back to me within like 20 minutes and said, yeah, come on over. I'll take you up there. And it's much more, it's safer to go through Dean if you can. So I would go to the visitor center here. If you're here in town, head over to the visitor center, ask them about getting to Lost Avenue, see what they tell you. And, of course, make sure you let them know you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg. Where is the... Okay. Ghost says, I am planning on being at the last Get Your Ass Out of the Car tour. October will be the most awesome tour because of my mere presence. That's probably true, Ghost. Michael, 6 questions says... Oh, wait, is it 6 questions or do I have to say 6 Qs? Oh, yeah, okay. He says, well, you do not need to receive gifts to go home and cry. You can go home and cry. And I often do, Mike. I often do. That's true. The gifts would actually make it the one rare day that I don't go home and cry. Ron says, you can also pick Fresnito's brain at the mine and not have to drive. Yeah, if you catch him at the mine, you can pick his brain, I'm sure. Rich says, get out of the car. Tours can be unpredictable. Rain and lightning and thunder, hailstorms, bus fires. It all adds up to a great tour. You know, you're right, Rich. The people that come to them regularly and experience these things, it's fun for me. Like, it's a memory. You know, we've done... I haven't counted them up yet, but probably, well, we've done a few dozen of these tours now. And There's only a handful that stand out in my memory, and those are the ones that have either lightning, hail, uh, bus fires, which wasn't a fire, by the way, and well, that's I think that's it so far. Well, and then there was the first one after the lockdowns were over. That was good because it felt great to get out of the house and it felt great to see people again. So that was memorable as well. Good afternoon, Dragoon. Ty Webb, his daily after work routine is to go home and cry. Well, there you go. Good to see I'm not alone. Ghost will be staying at the Doubleday bike for some touring. Good. That's the day I give on my show. Thank you. I'm glad you pay attention to my show because I certainly don't. Trimbod says, thanks, I'm in town. Will do. Awesome. Good luck. Have fun. Enjoy it. And let me know what your favorite monument up there is. Ghost says, my first tour was last April. It was a thunderstorm and windy. Yeah, I love that. I love thunderstorms. They just do something. They just, something to the energy in the air. It's just, it's really cool. Will Little Round Top be open in October? It should be. It should be. Now, why? Because he's construction, he gets to go the wrong way, but a bicycle can't. Okay. Matt says, hi all, glad to be here. Big snow here in Colorado, so no school. Get to watch my favorite drive. Back to Gettysburg with students in April. Can't wait and hope to finally meet you, Matt. Well, thank you very much, Matt. Just let me know when you're coming and we'll arrange at least a quick handshake, if nothing else. So yeah, let me know. Don't let me know here, I'll forget. Shoot me an email. John B is trying to make the April Get Out of the Car tour. John B's first one will pack a present. Well, I'm just kidding. You don't have to bring a present. And that's in June. Matt Mistay is around the tour. Where are we now? What are we doing? I think April's is Vermont. It's right up here. Oh, that's right, Matt. You do have my number. Yes, go ahead. Just shoot me a text. Sorry, Matt. It's hard. It's very hard to keep track of people. If I'm not like seeing you every day, it's hard to remember who is who and faces to face. In fact, I was talking to a guy, Adam Betts. I can say it because he was on the show, and this is part of the story. He was on. Oh shit, which show was it? It was a show that just recently came out. I want to say it was the one with Mike Rupert, but I'm not sure. But it was one of the more recent Ask Guides. And he was here, he was on it, because he was here, and I always pull people in at some point. And I said his name, and I'm like, oh, I know this guy. I've been emailing him about something. I won't say what yet because it's not set yet. It might not happen. But for like a year almost. And so I put, two and two together. And we were talking on the phone about this thing that we're trying to do. And I said, I got to tell you, I didn't realize that we met because, it's one thing to, I'm good with faces. Names, I'm like, okay, yeah, I know that name, but putting it to a face, it's tough. It's tough. I used to be very good at it, but I also didn't meet as many people as I do now, and so it's a little hard to keep track. So I'm sorry, Matt, but I'm glad you have my number, so go ahead and use it. Seems like a lot of down trees, fresh down trees on Culp's Hill. Well, I'll see what you're talking about in a second because we're heading over there. All presents go in my truck. I may or may not let Matt have them. As long as I get to see them, it's the thought that counts, you know? Ghost, if you do April's tour, bring a rain poncho. Yes. Currently forcing my students to watch via our classroom projector while they complete their worksheets. All right, well then I will watch my language. And hello to the students. So, all right, I'll give a little information. We're turning on the Tawnytown Road. Tawnytown Road was right back of the Union line. And it was used to move troops, supplies, etc., as was Baltimore Pike, which is where we're going to go next. Actually, I'll take you through the Visitor Center complex. Maybe you'll see the big Visitor Center and say, Mom, Dad, take us there. I'm assuming your students are small and unable to transport themselves. Then we talked about a cam tour and digital art. Remember now. See, all you gotta do is remind me. So there are the students. Let me slow down here. There's our visitor center. It's a big, huge building. And in that red part, that round red barn-looking part, is something called a cyclorama, which is a huge painting, 360 degrees. It means it's a circle. And it's, what, 300 something feet long, 40 something feet wide, or high, whatever. And it is a painting depicting Pickett's Charge, which is the culminating event here at the battle. And it is quite remarkable. There's a sound and light show that goes with it. It's moving. I have to tell you, every time I go in there, when I take someone in and we go to the movie with the great Morgan Freeman narrating, and then we go into the cyclorama immediately after, I'm always the one that's getting welled up. And I don't know what, I do know what it is. It's the end of the movie with the when Morgan Freeman's like, now you are on that great battlefield, or whatever he says. And it just gives me a chill, and it just gets me emotional. And then in the cyclorama, you know, with the sound effects, the music, and the visual, while they're reading quotes from soldiers who were in it. And this is something, especially the students, you're not going to relate to this because you're too young, but like, when you get to a certain age, you start to realize that you're mortal. And when you hear these stories written by these young men who are half your age, and they're talking about their friends who were killed, and they witnessed it and they experienced it, obviously being killed is a life-altering event. I don't think I need to, that goes without saying. But what about the guys that don't get killed and they witness friends, relatives, your brother, your cousin, your father, your son, who's fighting right alongside you, and they witness them die in a horrible way, and then they get up and march away when the battle is over, and they get into another battle and experience it all over again, over and over and over, until their service or the war is finished. Like, that's life-altering as well. And so when I read that, or when I hear those quotes with all the music and the sounds and the visual, I always have to look away from whoever I bring in there, because I have to surreptitiously wipe a tear away from my eye. And I hate getting old, because it makes me feel, and I hate that. So enjoy the feelingless days of youth, the insensitivity of youth, because it goes away and you get soft. Gene says, I'd drive down for every Get Out of the Car tour, but my husband divorced me. Oh, would divorce me. Well, make him drive then. Are you saying that he's afraid of your driving and he doesn't want to be in the car with you? Ty says, history and geometry. Nice double dip, Matt. Thank you very much, Ty. Thank you very much. Gene, that's about as far as I can go with geometry, by the way, too. 360 degrees is a circle. My drive is over 8 hours, unfortunately. Dr. James says, Matt. And then I say, Dr. James. Trimbot says, so true, Matt. Most of us can relate to the issues of Vietnam vets. It has to be true after every war. Oh, absolutely. I think the difference is that the Vietnam vets were the first ones to talk about it, and they were the first ones to receive help for it. I shouldn't say the first ones to receive help for it, but they were the first ones who received help where they had a better understanding since they started studying it. And they were encouraged to talk about it. And now their children and grandchildren can't shut the frig up about their failings. So I don't know how good that was. Hubby has no interest in the Civil War. I drag him to battlefields. You know what, Gene? You drag him to one tour, and I'll walk around with him, and I will badger him in the subtlest way possible until he realizes what is so fascinating about this. There will be some guilt thrown in there. I'm going to throw some guilt in. How dare you not even have a curiosity about this when these are kids that are so much younger than you, and they just died in this battle, and you just go about going, oh, it's just a field with cannons. I'll throw the guilt in, I'll throw the gore in, I'll throw it all in. Oh, sorry, Dr. James, I didn't see the party field request there till it was too late. Was that a deep thought by Jack Handy? Getting killed is life-altering? Yes, exactly. And now, Deep Thoughts with Matt C. Getting killed is the most life-altering experience you can have. All right, so let's see. Oh yeah, lots of trees. I'm seeing trees. Seeing some trees. Today is Pi Day, 3.14. Okay, that's another thing I remember from math. Pi Day, and this guy's getting ready for St. Patty's Day there with his kilt. Nice, nice. You've been trying to assimilate them for 40 years. Well, Gene, with all due respect, there's a difference between a wife trying to get a guy to do something and a complete stranger. I don't know what it is, but I know it's true. And just give me a shot. Give me a shot. That's all I can say. All right. Yeah, let me try my magic. I don't know if it'll work, but let me try it. You know, I have gotten people interested in it. You know, I remember I said to Cam one time, I said, Cam, why do you think you deserve a job here at Gettysburg in the Park Service? And he said, because I have passion. And I said, what? And he said, I have passion. You have what? Passion. Oh, passion. That's what I said. And I said, okay, all right, you got passion. I said, unfortunately, it's not a job requirement. But passion is contagious. When you see someone in their element and they're passionate about whatever their element is, yeah, go ahead, just walk in the middle of the road. You may not have any clue what they're talking about. You may not have any interest in what they're talking about, but it is contagious. It is intoxicating to watch somebody or listen to somebody talk about what they love. And I think that's how I've been able to get people who really never gave much thought to this stuff to see it in a different way. And I think nowadays the trick is not to tell them about troop movements and numbers and names and what's a division, what's a regiment, what's a battalion. They don't care about that. That's too much. That's what scares them off. But you tell them about a guy. You don't even have to come up with the name. Just tell them a story about a guy who was in the artillery or a guy who was in the infantry and what happened to him. And you know, tell it well. And you know, suddenly they go, oh, you know, all right. Maybe my idea of this was not exactly what it really was like, or whatever. There's Evergreen Cemetery, and we're going up Cemetery Hill. East Cemetery Hill is to the right. Right on, Matt. Personal stories. Keep it simple, stupid. Don't call me stupid. Inspire them to learn more. Right. If you try to teach everybody everything, their eyes glass over. If you teach them just enough until you see that spark ignite, they'll find the rest. They'll come to you for more, but let them come to you. Don't force it down people's throats. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying here. All right, where are we? Here we are. Cardi Field. All good next time. Gene, he was there last October. I think he liked the walk, but he didn't like us driving 300 miles to see it. All right, I'll get him. Kevin says, speaking of circles, today is, oh, we did that one. Okay. I've been trying to assimilate. Okay, got that. Okay, so wait, I'm going back here. All right, I think a cup of coffee. Howdy, 420 is coming. Okay. Fraser Baby says, I agree, Matt. Thank you. I don't know what I said, but thank you. I'm glad you agree. Right on, man. Personal story. Yep, there you go. Kiss. No, I know, Matt. I'm familiar with Keep It Simple, Stupid. I was a musician, man. That's what the band teacher always used to say. Keep it simple, stupid. You never heard that? Of course I've heard it. Of course I've heard it. I'm not Grant. That's funny. Ghost 4:30 will also be the Get Out of the Car tour. It's going to be very special, mind-altering tour. 420 is what you're saying. Oh, gotcha. Personal stories make personal connections. That's what draws normies in. Exactly. Oh, I like that one there, Chris. The KISS method of keep it super simple. Now you're talking. That's what I like too. Peter, I did check one of the 76-year Roswell Captain story. Okay, Jim says, I just had a broccoli and cheddar cheese quiche for the first time from Trader Joe's. It was exquisite. I hope it wasn't one of the items on the recall list, or else I might not make it to the Get Out of the Car tours. Well, I hope not either. Peter says, yesterday's episode was hilarious with talking in the third person badly. Oh, about Sun Tzu at Gettysburg. Yeah, I'm glad he dropped that after a while, because it was starting to get confusing, because he didn't change anything about the way he spoke when he was going into character. So it was hard to tell who was talking. Was it Ralph talking, or was it Sun Tzu who used Ralph as a conduit to the world of the living? So confusing. So confusing. But yeah, that was fun. Okay, so I need to go into the, where do I need to go? I need to go into Bantam for a minute, and then I need to go down the road and check out a store, and then I need to go home and shave the old chrome dome in preparation for tonight's show. We have Sarah from Sweet as Sap, I believe is the name of the bakery she's got over on York Street, right down the road, a couple doors down from our buddies at For the Historian, where you can get 20% off if you mention addressing Gettysburg. It might actually be 10%. Forgive me. You get something off. I forget the percentage. You get something off if you mention addressing Gettysburg. And so please. Matt says, Matt, I need 43 addressing Gettysburg hoodies for our group. Who should I call? Actually, call me, Matt, because funny you should say that. We've had a few requests to get some of our shirts in stores in town. And so yesterday, Cindy, myself, and Mike Stretch, who is my designer and website guy, we've been talking about how we would do bulk. There is a way to do it through the website that we get, that when you call, and not when you call, when you place an order for a t-shirt, it goes to a third party. They print and fulfill it. And you can do bulk there. We're trying to find the cheapest bulk price, wholesale price possible, so that it's not too much for you when we tack on our piece of it. So give me a call about that, and we will we'll figure something out. And that's good. Maybe that makes me think now we can do like maybe a school discount or something like that. Yeah. Call me next week. That's good, Matt. Thank you. Iced tea. I'm going with iced tea, Dr. Jim. Matt, you complain about your advancing age, but here's the plus side. If everything works out through earlier years, then you gain years of experience and volumes of wisdom. Kevin, absolutely. And I'll tell you, that's the curse of it, though, right? Because it's like, if I knew then what I know now, and then it's like, if I had the physical energy that I had then with what I know now, my God, I'd be unstoppable. And I guess that's why God made it that we don't have both at the same time. Uh, because, yeah, and I'll tell you what, when, when we're talking to Cindy's daughter about, teenage issues or whatever, things that are like the end of the world to them, and she can't take our word for it that life is going to move on and this will be nothing in 10 years. And, of course she can't. I couldn't. It all seems so final and so permanent when you're young. And I remember saying to Cindy after one of the conversations, I was like, God damn, I wish I had the health and the physical energy of that age, but I don't want to be that age again, because I was so unwise and so inexperienced and so naive and so stupid that I don't want to go through that again. No, because the learning the lessons was so difficult and painful. I'm glad I went through them all. Every failure to me, I consider a success. And that sounds hokey, but, okay. I hope the students are still listening. And this is not your fault, students, so I'm not condemning you. But no one lets you guys fail. And that is the worst thing anyone can do for you. So if ever an adult, what doesn't matter, a parent, teacher, stranger, they want to make a problem go away for you, like, be more grown up than your actual age, which is hard to do, but do it, and just say, no, I need to figure this out myself, and figure it out yourself. And you will be so proud of yourself. You will have such high self-esteem. And you will realize that you are the source of most of your problems, and you are also the source of most of your solutions. Now, there's, of course, things that happen to you that other people do out of the blue or whatever, and that's not right, and that's not good, and that's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about other things, like the way we think about ourselves, the way we think about life, our attitudes towards things like money or love or all these other things. They're all in our heads. And there's so much information out there that we can find. Now, you got to be careful because there's bad information. But listen to the people who without a doubt, love you and care about you, and listen to their advice. It may not be right, but they're coming from a good place, and you should explore it and see if it works for you. And if it doesn't, that's fine. You move on. But you learn what will work for you by learning what doesn't work for you. And the only way to do that is to fail. You have to allow yourself to fail, and it's going to be hard. You're going to cry. You're going to be mad. You're going to be frustrated. And when you're done with it, it'll be the greatest gift life could have ever given you, because you're that much stronger. And when you're looking around at the people around you whose parents or whoever won't let them fail, you can kind of smile quietly inside, knowing that you're going to have an advantage over that kid in life when school is over. So don't be afraid to fail. That's the best thing in the world. And then when you get to be my age and you lose your hair, the best part about it is you will still have your mind and your experience and your wisdom. Wisdom is not taught, it is experienced. It is learned through experience. So there, enough with the hokey preaching. You did not sign up for that, but I cannot help but do it whenever I talk to young people, because I'm so afraid for you guys. And it's not your fault. I'm terrified for you. All right, let's see what else here. Gimbal is coming today. Nice. Matt, maybe I will run into you. We'll be down there just about every weekend in April. Good luck. That's going to Matt Arleth. You got it, Matt. Thank you. Oh, okay, gotcha. You're coming in every other word. Also hit the like button all. Well, thank you. I'm glad you can't hear every other word, but you're encouraging people to like. Thank you, Ghost. I say it's easier now being old and foolish than when I was young and stupid. Stupid is tough. Stupid is very tough. Foolish is good. No, you know what's ignorant is tough. When you don't know better. No, actually, no. No, you're right. Stupid is tough. Stupid is tough. Oh, you want to stick that fork in the light socket? Go ahead. It hurts, doesn't it? I bet you won't do that again, Ron White. Yeah, well, I'll tell you a story. So, now this was not my mother's intention, but I have one of my earliest memories is a very vivid memory of being at the first house we lived in. So we moved out of there when I was 7. So I have to be probably, I'm going to say 4 or 5 at this time. And it's like lunchtime and my mom's making grilled cheese and she sits me on the counter next to the stove. And it was an electric stove, you know, with the coils. And she turned it off. She put the grilled cheese on a plate, turned around to put the pan in the oven, or not in the oven, in the sink. And before she did, though, she said, don't touch that. It's still hot, even though it's not red. So while she's washing the pan, I'm sitting there. I'm looking at the coils. They're like black or whatever color the coils are. And I'm looking at my mom, who's got her back to me. I'm looking back at the stove. And I'm like, it can't be that hot now. And I put my whole palm on the stove and screamed bloody murder. And my mother turned around and said, what? I told you not to touch the stove. But guess what? To this day, I will not touch an electric stove. So sometimes you have to put your hand on the stove to believe somebody. And that was me. I was one of those, I wouldn't say, it's not stupid. It's stubborn. What is the word for that? Where someone who knows better and you know they know better warns you, don't do this. And you go, yeah, I'm going to do it anyway. Because you have to know why by experiencing it. It's not enough to take somebody's word. And I think that people who are wise enough to take someone else's word for it when they're young end up being afraid of everything with no cause in life. Whereas if you go, okay, I get it. This should be something I should be wary of, but I'm going to try it anyway. And then you find out for yourself why exactly it's bad. As long as it's nothing that's going to kill you, then that's good. And, you know, okay, fine. Then you go, okay, that's why. And then you're less afraid of things. Like last night, I was walking into Giant, which is the supermarket around here. And I hear that, you know, that demonic chord that hybrid vehicles make when they go under a certain speed limit so that you can hear them? You know, so I hear that it's like hell opened and all the angels of hell or the hell's demons are coming out. Anyway, I hear this sound behind me and I'm walking, you know, right on the rear bumpers of all the cars that are parked. So I'm like, this person has room to go around. And then they just lean on the horn. And I didn't jump. I didn't turn around immediately like, oh God, they're going to run me over. I was just like, if this person's beeping at me to get out of the way, I'm not doing anything wrong. They can kiss my foot. If this person's beeping at me because they're going to run me over because their brakes failed, though, I'm going to own them. So, you know, thy will be done. And then they wouldn't stop beeping. So I turned around and it was Veronica and her mom, Kathy, and they were cracking up. So I had a conversation. But the point is, if I went through life listening to people telling me to be afraid of everything, and I don't know why, I'm just going to take their word for it, I'm going to be afraid of everything. But if you kind of poke the bear a little bit every once in a while, if you can get out of it, then you're less afraid of things. I have a big fear of snakes. I hate snakes. So what did I do to overcome my fear of snakes? I didn't demand that Mother Nature give me trigger warnings to let me know that there may be snakes in the forest when I go in the forest. When I encountered a snake, I knew it wasn't a poisonous one. And, well, I should say when he encountered me, because I was walking through the grass in the woods. There was a open patch of grass. And I'm walking my dog. This is my old dog. And all of a sudden I feel like, oh, my shoelace is untied, because every time I move my right foot forward, it hits my left calf. And I look down and there's a black snake wrapped around my ankle. And have you ever seen somebody do an Irish jig, but they'd never actually learned how to do an Irish jig? That's kind of what I looked like. And I'm hopping around, dancing in the field, trying to kick this thing off of me, and he won't go. So I'm like, okay, well, what do I do? So I grab him by the neck, and I untwine him, and then I stopped. And I looked at him, and I held him up to my face, and I felt, I was holding him by the right under the head, and kind of felt the body, the scales of the body, and my fear went away. Now, does that mean I want to go, sleep in a bed of snakes? No, but I wasn't terrified of snakes anymore. So when you're going through life, children, and you see a snake, don't run, pick it up. As long as he doesn't have jowls, because you don't want to get bit and die. Make sure you know how to tell a poisonous snake. Okay, so that's enough for me. From me. God, how the hell can you people be listening to this? Okay, wait, there's a lot of preach, Matt, so apparently somebody liked it. Okay, you got it, Matt. You're coming in every other word. Got that. Stupid is tough. Oh, you want to stick that for it? Yep. Preach it, Matt. Preach, Matt. All good stuff. Okay. Good afternoon, Marcia. How are you? Thank you for the great drive yesterday. You're welcome. I'm 20% stupid still at 44. Yeah, I would say I'm about 25%, somewhere in there. James, I still do that, and I'm an electrician. Oh, God, that's funny. Eric says, my wife, the teacher, always says that telling a kid not to do something is like telling them to do it. They just focus on doing it. Yeah, right. And that's why that was me. I remember when I got into The Doors as a middle schooler, I wanted to see the movie The Doors. And my dad watched it first, and he's like, no way in hell I'm letting you watch that movie. So all I ever wanted was to see The Doors. And finally, sophomore year of high school, I had a friend who had The Doors on VHS, and we watched it, and I was like, what's the big deal? Why didn't he want me to see The Doors? But there's a difference between sophomore and 7th grade. And frankly, I don't know. I don't even know if somebody in 10th grade should be seeing that, but whatever. But yeah, I wanted to see, and it was no big deal when I did. I was 2P to 70s. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. I know the dance. My buddy was standing on the ground. Hornets at night. Ah, yes. Then jumped up and down thinking they were ants. Ugh. Or rattles. Yeah, right. Rattles. You don't want that either. Yeah, you go. Wisdom, oh, Matt. Little Irish wisdom, half Irish wisdom for you before St. Patrick's Day. And hello, Francis. How are you? All right, I'm going to go get an iced tea. I hope you guys are having a great day. It's beautiful here. Now it's starting to feel like it's 80 degrees, but it says 75. Who knows? It's probably, I'm going to say it's 75 degrees right now. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, it's gorgeous. So I got a couple things to do before I run home. Shave the head, shower, get ready for the show tonight. Join us tonight on the show. We should have fun. We should have fun. Who knows? I know we have one sad news story to talk about. Hopefully Beth didn't find 10 or 12 others, but we'll see. Otherwise, you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And if the students are still listening, good luck to you all with whatever you do.